Today we sit humbly on the wall of radical change and we remember our Bermudian heroes. We remember their sacrifices and their triumphs, but we'd be remiss not to do so in the context of the change unfolding right now before us. In this 21st century world without borders, it's imperative that we remember the leaders of the movements we carry forth with pride. Remember the freedom fighters who braved the fires of injustice long before us. Remember those who saw the status quo as an extension of oppression and decided to dismantle it. Without the unwavering commitment to justice from our heroes, to our island, to its people, and to its vision, we'd lack the courage and endurance to persevere and to fight the honorable fight for equality. On this Heroes Day, we have the utmost privilege to pay respect to those whose legacies and sacrifices sing loudly. We honor those who have fought in the name of racial equality, gender equality, and class equality here on our shores. Among them, Mary Prince, who was the centerpiece in enacting the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833. Gladys Morrell, who led the charge for Bermuda's suffragette movement, and Sir Edward Trenton E.T. Richards, the first Black Bermudian to head our government. These narratives can't be singularly reduced to any one accolade awarded, policy reformed, or act passed. These individuals, our heroes, are the product of a long history which articulated itself long before their achievements. Their screams for equality and liberty have been muffled by a society that wasn't keenly aware of why they were screaming in the first place. And so with this history in mind, I have the great privilege of dedicating this tribute to a man who made it his life's work to make those screams heard, all the while demanding equality and justice of his own. Dr. Edgar Fitzgerald Gordon. In the words of late and beloved Bermudian hero, Dr. Eva Hodgson, Gordon was a man who, unlike any other, succeeded in awakening a political consciousness among the laboring classes. He's revered for his integrity as an uncompromising revolutionary who, at the cost of his political reputation, would go to great lengths to see the birth of true racial equality. In 1946, he drew up a landmark petition which called for British authorities to investigate harmful practices which left Bermudians with disproportionate economic and political power. Even as a naturalized citizen, Gordon remained dedicated to lessening the Bermudian plight. The Bermuda Dr. Gordon arrived to was determinedly isolationist and content in its severance from global development surrounding injustice. So when he arrived on our shores in 1924 to establish the West End medical practice, he took notice to two contrasting phenomena. The first, Bermuda's unparalleled natural beauty, and the second, more insidiously, a deeply ingrained apathy towards the active oppression of Black Bermuda by an outdated white oligarchy. He found vocational purpose in politics upon his election as a member of colonial parliament in 1946. He received popular support because his goals weren't veiled in a layer of respectability politics. He was a man who wanted to enfranchise the people, the Black Bermudians whose exploits built the nation. He also had a fundamental understanding of what collective action could yield, and so he wished to mobilize Bermudians in order to remedy their politically induced disadvantage. Dr. Gordon's career wasn't to be met without scrutiny. He was as trailblazing a figure as he was polarizing, and he sought to invoke a political consciousness of Bermudian masses. To him, the choice we had was simple. As a nation, do we wish to maintain the colonial practices which historically have strangled our progress? Or do we demand the dismantling of power structures that are void of equality and actionable reform? His ethos was defined by empowering the dispossessed and politicizing the working class. As a member of parliament, his views underwent the ridicule of a white majority whose politics only the enfranchised benefited from. As the president of the Bermuda Workers Association, he made it his mission to redirect the narrative of the Bermuda working class, thus spearheading the establishment of the Bermuda Industrial Union in 1947. The union was founded in order to facilitate bargaining for the working class, a group primarily composed of Black Bermudians. The tree of the Union's establishment wouldn't bear fruit until after Dr. Gordon's death in 1955 with the implementation of desegregation practices. Now in today's world, we tend to equate progress with concessions. But the truth is actually much simpler than that. We're either free or we remain as slaves. There can't exist such a thing as second-class citizenship, and this is what Dr. Gordon believed. And thus, leaves us with a choice yet again. So as we stand at the crossroads of change, as Bermudians and as global citizens, we aspire to harness the power of collective action like our hero Dr. Gordon. And like him, we're guided to take an active role in the determination of our future. We are powerful stakeholders in our fate. This was put on display just days ago as thousands gathered in unity, brought together by our common humanity, calling out for justice. In this peaceful show of solidarity with the global Black Lives Matter movement, we were soberly reminded of the work which still lies ahead. Work that will take collaboration, empathy, and patience. Our island home isn't exempt from the perils of racism. Every day we see the evils which can manifest when we allow passivity to endure. That's why we as Bermudians have the obligation to learn from the legacy of those like Dr. Gordon. On this Heroes Day, we pay our respects to all who have sacrificed their comfort, but never their values, in the name of building a better Bermuda. Let Dr. Gordon's life testify to the change which is possible. On this Heroes Day, let us be reminded that equality is always a cause worth fighting for.